So I wanted to record a video about just going for it. Whatever your career path is, this is going to be more geared towards creatives, but you can apply it to anything. So to start, I'm going to start with a story from my childhood. I used to be into, I'm still into it, but not quite to the same degree, creating comic books. Like I would copy from Marvel and DC and Archie, Sonic the Hedgehog comics, and then I would create my own characters. And then I would market that, sell them to my friends, gift them, that sort of thing. And I was really fascinated by the fact that all these different people were creating like a single comic book issue, like a writer, artist, inker, colorist. And learning all that, I was like, okay, I want to try to do all those things myself. And I didn't realize at the time that I was self-publishing. Like I had no idea. Like I was just doing it. So my mom, brother, and I went to New York for I think it was called the Big Apple Con. And my mom raises her hand to ask, like, oh, how can my son get into self-publishing? And then she explains what I'm already doing. And she's like, oh, well, your son's already doing it. He has to keep with it because he's already on this path. And I think from a young age, I knew I wanted to just not only be an artist, but to also be an entrepreneur. And I apply that for everything that I'm doing. So that trip to New York, meeting that I think she was an editor for Disney Adventures, was like a huge level up for me and really affirming, to just kind of instill, like, hey, like you are already doing what you're out to accomplish. And then there are just different levels to that. Um, Talk a little bit about the book I did with Sky Zoo. And Sky Zoo, I was a fan of his for a long time, like since his album The Salvation, which I think was his debut solo album. And then just hearing that, connecting with the lyrics, storytelling, the jazz influence, of course. And then I think I did an illustration of him, and then I was using Twitter at the time. So I posted that. He saw it. We talked a little bit. And then I actually met him in person in New York when he released another album. And he essentially put on Twitter, like, if you're in the area and you have the album, and I say the area like New York City because I was working at the Thai bar, one of their pop up shops at the time. That's where the suit's from, by the way. And so he saw the tweet. He came through. My manager's impressed. It was just really cool to meet him. And then I went to go check out his show at the Blue Note. And the Blue Note is a jazz club. So Sky Zoo is a big jazz head, and he was performing with a jazz band. It was like a really phenomenal set. I think it was like the second or third time I'd seen him perform, but it was the first time I saw him perform with a jazz band. And then after that, it got to a point where he had needed photography, and I knew he was going to be in Dumbo, Brooklyn, at Legacy Dumbo, which is a record shop. And I went out there, did the photography pro bono. He really appreciated it, gave him the photos. I took some light video too. And then, like, fast forward, listened to all the brilliant things, interviewed him, and then interviewed him for The Mind of a Saint. And Sky Zoo actually put me on Snowfall. So I really devoured that show, great performances. And then I got the idea, okay, like, let's do an art book for that. And I could have been in my head about it, like, this is an amazing rapper, my favorite rapper. And, like, what he says, like, he's not into this project or whatever. So it was something like I actually had a dream about, like this project coming together, all these colorful illustrations inspired by a style you may know. And something just said, like, go for it. Like, he's most likely going to be into it. And he accepted. We did a limited edition run of the book. And then I ended up having him actually perform at my job at the Milford Arts Council. And then coming to Trinity College in Hartford to perform again. And we did a panel discussion together talking about the book, talking about his music. And it was just really cool, just putting in those years of work, getting to know him and getting to know his music, to actually being side by side, working on this book, helping him get gigs, working on something else too. And it just goes back to the theme of this video, like, just go for it. Like, if you have an idea, just go for it. Next part of this is talking about Harlow. And Harlow is a lighting company. I've worked with them on and off. Their products are really amazing. And I had a call about product development and a few ideas I had. And it was just the kind of thing where it's like, okay, I've got this idea. There's this company that I have a work relationship with. Like, just go for it. And the call ended up being great. And I think it's going to lead to future opportunities. And it never would have happened if I just got in my head about it and thought, like, okay, I'm going to be talking about products, what they do, what I do, and seeing if there's a fit. So there's a point where it's like you can have the idea and then you can go to execute it. And I think in between those steps, it's good to just not be in your head. And that's helped me make more videos, be more consistent, and just get in front of the camera, like just go for it. And then the last thing I'll say is just even with posting on social media, and this goes back to a video I saw from Vanessa Lau earlier on YouTube, you just gotta let go of that fear of being in your head about it and then just letting go and putting it forth. And that doesn't mean to like not put out quality product, quality art, quality content, but like not getting in your own way. And I think so. One of my main takeaways that I've learned as an artist, creative, photographer, cinematographer is just getting out of your own way. Like it's helped me be on camera more, helped me be more consistent. And it goes back to a video I saw just the other day, actually, from Vanessa Lau, who I learned a lot about in terms of the Pocket 3. Her videos are really amazing. Just filming, light editing. I try not to go crazy with the editing, so it takes so long. Like something like this is probably going to be like not even 10 minutes. Put that out. And then I have an Osmo Pocket 3 video that I did that was probably close to an hour. So that was more of the longer side. So it's just that balance of having the short form content, maybe the content that's just a few minutes long, and then the longer content. So just kind of splitting up my time and figure out what's going to work versus maybe this is going to take a little longer. And I think stuff like that has just like helped a ton in terms of my YouTube channel, which is growing. And speaking of which, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. It really helps a lot. And I'll see you on the next one.